We're good. All right.
Yo, Skull, can you hear me?
Yes. Do you hear me?
Full screen. Take 1, 2. Okay, and then now let's cut to the intro music. Altered, you ready? 3, 2, 1. Welcome everyone. All right, we got a wonderful panel here. First M3 TV panel. We're going to talk about NFTs in the metaverse, and we've got a bunch of really awesome guests, starting with Seven Roy, who's an epic artist, crypto artist, making all sorts of VRMs and cool arts, fashion. We got Morph over here with his DCL avatar. Welcome, Morph. Toxsam, founder of Polygonal Mind and Crypto Avatars. And MetaMike, who is rocking the Clonex. Welcome. All right, and in our audience, we've got Rizzle. What up, Rizzle? Who's the frogs chilling over here?
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And we got Skull over there.
Yo.
And pink person in the middle. Chillzone's chilling over there. We got a Yeti kind of peeking over the corner. He's our resident security guard. So today we're going to be talking about NFTs and the metaverse. So let's first get a little bit, let's learn about our panelists. So starting out with Seven Roy. If you want to talk, or if you want to wave with your hands and we add it in post afterwards, let us know, what you do. Mm-hmm. Right? Wow, that is really awesome. Cool. Okay, and then we've got Morphbot. You want to tell us, give us a little bit of background?
Yes, yeah. I just found M3 because I originally came from Decentraland and I wanted to, take my character across the metaverse. And I found out the technology exists to do that. And Jen and the gang here showed me how to do that. And here I am. So,
Awesome. And Toxsam, how you doing? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, how's it going?
You're facing sideways.
What?
Just rotate around.
I don't know. I just see you. The thing is, I'm stuck in your camera.
Oh, just hit Shift 3. There you go. Hey, welcome back.
Hey, all right now. Hey, how's it going? Just here doing avatars all weeks and doing cool stuff.
You gotta give us a little bit more than that. Come on.
We are making avatars. I'm the founder of Polygonal Mind and Crypto Avatars. I just like to chill around the metaverse and create avatars and make sure that people can use those avatars as much as they can everywhere.
Hell yeah, awesome. Interoperability champ. And MetaMike, how's it going? Give us a little bit of background.
Yeah, for sure. I started out tinkering with 3D probably about 2.5 years ago, and just got into the NFT space shortly after, and joined M3 because I saw a ton of like-minded people and just been learning something new every day, and incredible people in the community. So really pleased to be here and to have the help of everyone along this journey.
Awesome. Wonderful round of applause for our panelists here. In hyperfy, this is all in WebXR. Yeah. Okay, cool. This is all made with pure web tech. This ain't Unity. We're not in VR chat. We've got Morph and MetaMike in a Quest 2 browser. They just, went straight into hyperfy through the Meta browser, and I'm over here in Chrome, so very accessible. Okay, so let's first talk about NFTs. I guess, give us your opinion about NFTs in the context of the metaverse. Like, what is the potential of it? What are you using them for? We will start out with Morphbot.
Cool. So to me, I mean, it's about owning your own items in a way that is not like dependent on some bigger corporation. Because you never know what might happen. I played a lot of games growing up that I sunk like thousands of hours into MMOs and things, and a lot of those MMOs just aren't around anymore. And maybe we could spin up private servers and we can do some cool stuff with that kind of code after it's dead. But it's very hard to kind of keep that community or that kind of like longevity of records if the actual like corporation goes bust. But with NFTs, we have a immutable ledger. It's public, so that's kind of what I use it for. I like to collect like game items and just collect them in a way that's a bit more like permanent, and I don't have to worry about these corporations kind of like going under or just the game not working anymore. So that's what I like about it. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, a neutral database that's platform agnostic. Indeed. And Toxsam, what's your opinion of NFTs in the context of the metaverse? What do you like about them? What do you not like about them? I guess you can also like take it from their current implementations and whatnot.
I guess what got me into crypto in the first place was NFTs and the idea of those could be like game objects that could go from one game to another, or that at least I can sell them, or at least I can own them in a way. Like you just mentioned, right? Playing a lot of games. I play a lot of World of Warcraft back in the day, like heavy player, more like 12 hours a day, right? In your character and building objects and building your stuff to craft, killing NPCs, writing stuff, and then Blizzard can just cancel your account, right? And then you just lost everything. And I didn't lose everything. I didn't broke any rules, right? But I know people who maybe lost a lot of stuff from Steam accounts or other or LOL accounts, or I don't know, many different accounts had it stolen from my friends. So
Totally.
having an opportunity to get that and own that, and maybe I sell those items and then I can buy something from another game. That was what got me into NFTs into the first place. So that was how I understand NFTs from the first place. Like they are like digital objects that are from games and can go to other games, or at least you can trade them. You can own them, right? And they can have some value, and it's not like black market value where somebody can scam you. It's like just it is what it is.
True.
I hope it was.
What are our guests here chilling here? I see TheDigitalAcid has joined us. Welcome. How you doing?
That's right. I'm here from I'm a Degen Void, and glad to be here with the rest of the Metaverse avatars. We had a huge event with Skull and the whole Volts team today, so you're never late in the Metaverse. So we're here, man.
It's great to have you. And in fact, I could show a little bit on the screen over there. So I will full screen it here. And if I just... Y'all started this 3D vault thing. Do y'all want to kind of give a little bit of context as to what 3D vaults... This is a poster for Filter. Very high quality poster, but I'm seeing a bunch of different avatars from different projects. Do you want to kind of explain what this is?
Skull, what do you think? You want me to take it away, or you got it? What do you want to do? A little bit of both?
Yeah, let's just make a little bit of ping pong. You have the good opening, and
Okay. Sure, yeah. So one of the things that, obviously you notice about a lot of the platforms that are being built is some of them allow direct upload, via VRM, and some of them don't. The other thing, I'm a DGen, having shipped 3D avatars, 10,000 of them in July 2021, you run into all the situations, right, of kind of onboarding and getting people to actually use the platforms with their avatars. And so, non-technical users, there's a lot of barriers to just getting in and hanging out. And the other thing is we see silos being created across the metaverse where you have communities only hanging out with themselves, only in a specific platform. And so, it was brilliant hooking up with Volt's team. They created a VRM link system, which allows you to easily jump into Monaverse, but can be used for a variety of different platforms as well. And so, yeah, we teamed up with a bunch of 3D projects that already have 3D files, and have communities passionate about these topics. So what you see on the poster there is starts off with, on the side, we have Meta Travelers. Then you see Void. Void is wearing the Cultivate helmet, which is another project where the helmet is actually the item. You see the Metashima companion.
Okay,
In
so
the
wait,
middle,
wait, wait.
you see the Volts.
You see my mouse cursor, right?
Yep.
Okay, so starting from the beginning, Meta Traveler here.
Yep. Meta Traveler.
Void, and a Cultivate
The helmet is Cultivate. Then down below is the Metashima companion.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the middle, you have the Volts. Then to the top right, you have Clone Force. And then to the absolute right is the Dask. And so, we've never seen really that many projects sort of band together and to try to bring the communities together to hang out. And so when you log into this vault, there's some layers of security. For example, the avatars are encrypted links that as soon as they're transferred or purchased, those links are automatically disabled. But what's really cool, I think, in terms of interoperability is the fact that when the system detects multiple tokens in your wallet, you unlock secret characters like collab versions. So you'll see the Void with the Cultivate helmet, or the Volts with the Metashima. And so we're encouraging cross collaboration between those projects. And then we did we had like a couple hundred avatars meet in the same spot. And it like basically crashed their servers. It was pretty crazy. So the long-term goal is to help all these projects scale to connect with as many platforms as possible, including independent creators, dope ones like Emotionull and stuff like that, where if you even have a single VRM or a custom VRM, you could upload. And the idea is, reducing the UX, making it like a Netflix style screen where you can just hop in from metaverse to metaverse and then unlock all these secret collabs. And there'll be more stuff coming, like delegate cash to protect your assets, which is what Yuga recently used for their mint. And there's a lot more layers of features that are coming, but that's in a nutshell. So we had 7 projects on a Twitter space while being in the metaverse, including the Monaverse team as well.
Wow, awesome. I love seeing this cross IP collaboration and folks, coming together, and we're doing that right now. We're all about it. I mean, look around in this studio and you see a Meebit next to a Fly Frog, next to a Skull, a Void, and a Null over there, a Super Yeti. We've got CloneX and Polygonal Mind next to a DCL avatar and Seven Roy, and we're going to be doing all sorts of because I think all these projects, basically, they need to start out with just talking to each other and, having a space where we could, I think World Hop field trips are great. So I'm glad to see like this poster was for a field trip. We need more of those types of events for, to experience the metaverse, not just also in like crypto platforms either. You know, like there's a lot to learn from other platforms as well. What do you think, MetaMike? In general.
Yeah, I mean, in general, I guess just want to firstly comment on the collaboration, like in terms of unlocks, that's really awesome. And I think like, you know, because we're so early, those type of experiments and like how we can link and find different ways to properly collaborate. There's different communities, there's different sets of visual identity. I like that's really what gets me excited about the whole thing. But I kind of initially found my way into the space through digital fashion, and like the concept of digital ownership, not just in terms of identity, but in terms of visual accessories, and that kind of made me keep going down the rabbit hole. But you know, I think I'm really curious to kind of see, in the way that VRM is standard and we're creating different sets of standardization, how that can transfer into other things like, you know, potentially wearables that take different data about the VRM file and append objects in different ways to a skeleton. But you know, even things like vehicles and having ownership of vehicles, and in the same way that a VRM works in different worlds, maybe there's a vehicle standard, and you know, we can own them and have the same type of economics that we do with you know, PFPs and associated VRMs. So I think we're just so early on that it's just exciting to be here now and to, you know, meet so many like-minded people that are really kind of pushing for the same goal.
Awesome. So Roy, you do a lot of fashion type of work with wearables. What's your take on how NFTs and fashion intertwine together? What's the potential? What do you think is so interesting about it?
Yes, thanks, Jen. I'm sure it's the future. You see, creativity in the fashion world right now has a lot of obstacles, such as the price of materials, the weight of materials, the resistance. Often, many fashion houses make very creative shows with incredible clothes that cannot be worn in real life because they are incomparable or made of a strange material. And the metaverse fixes this. You can express yourself with any kind of clothes you want. Other ways of creating fashion that don't even exist in real life, like emissive lights of scrolling. You can have a color changing shit, an armor made of bubbles. I don't know. The limit is your imagination. And that's the very creative way out there, exploring possibilities never experienced before the event of digital art. And now, thanks to Intest, there's a chance to get that garment in any of your favorite.
Shall we maybe add another couple of information about the event of the multi-collection there? What do you think?
What was it? What was your question?
I would be happy to add another couple of information about this multi-project that we have been working on tonight. While we wait for the MetaMike, then you have asked the question. So, well, first of all, just to let you know a couple of things about myself. I have been modeling the avatar that you see that I'm wearing. And I've done this collection in low poly because I was thinking from the beginning that to do a VRM that is efficient, you need to do low poly. That's the way, and it worked because in the end we with not too much optimization, we are about 1 megabyte. The poster that you see there is also part of the works that I have done lately to preparation to this multi project collaboration. And one thing that I would like to add regarding this project is also linked to a tweet that you have posted some weeks ago, Jin, when you were talking about embedding in the GLB or in the FTX or the FBX or in the VRM the meta information about the NFTs that you are wearing. And in the pipeline of our project of the encrypted link is, so what is the encrypted link? You go to this protected by MetaMask personal page. There you find the NFTs that you own, and you can pick from one or the other NFT, the VRM link, and you jump into the metaverse. Now in Mona, but it will be very nice to see the developments in other platforms. So the idea that would be a next step is you open your wallet in your personal page and you can see maybe 3 different assets from different collections. And because you are not using a standard VRM, but because you are uploading your custom VRM, imagine the work that you do or that I do. You just pick pieces from different collections and you mesh up your avatar. This means that one possibility is you go to this interface, you log in, and you own Meta Travelers, you own Void, you own CloneX, and you basically tag your custom VRM with proven ownership of these different NFTs. And then the encrypted link, which contains, the encrypted link is created with the hash of encryption of Bitcoin, the same. It's not rocket science, but we found it on point. And basically, we put together in a single encryption the token number of your avatar and your wallet. But we can also send to the metaverse the combination of the different tokens of different collections. So basically, in the same way in which you were asking yourself, hey, how can we put in the 3D model the memory of what are the components of the different metadata that we use in the same 3D mesh, let's say. And this is something that I find interesting in the world of NFTs. So NFT and digital identity. I own these 3 different avatars, but my identity is the mix of them. So if we arrive to the point in which through this tool and through the encrypted link for the avatar, the metaverse is able to just simply decrypt it and read inside of it your CloneX, your voids, and your vaults. This is, I think, it's a step forward in terms of digital identity, proof of ownership, and when you go in land, and this is like a blue check on your properties. What do you think about that?
Yeah, Matt. Just taking a hit. I think that's pretty cool. Toxsam, you do a lot of different avatar collections. I mean, for me, this kind of reminds me of unbundling and rebundling, you know, like, and I saw this with Loot. We love Loot Project because, you know, it kind of boils down NFTs down to focus on the metadata and composability aspects. And we're experimenting with it in a sense of like, there's some really interesting projects in which you could take a loot bag and then unbundle it into separate ERC 1155 NFTs. And then, you know, I see every NFT PFP sort of being like a loot bag in a sense, because it's a bunch of bundled composable wearables, right? So if you break things down back to the layers, and, you know, we could recreate something that that becomes unique and, you know, something that's your favorite traits from multiple different things, because maybe it's not one that you fell in love with, but rather multiple. What do you think, Toxsam?
That's something that I've been thinking of too. Like, what if you could go and grab your ape and then get the traits, and, you know, have a naked ape, and then you can, I don't know, you know, I'm saying an ape, but I could say cool cat, I could say whatever PFP you're thinking.
Wouldn't that
like,
make it less rare though? Like you see on the screen over here, I've got some examples where there was one time on crypto Twitter where everyone changed their PFP suits up for Christie's because there's like a NFT marketplace event at Christie's, and then people basically modded all their traits to beat that. And I kind of see that as like, almost if this was like a metaverse event, you know, where they had like a live show or something, then everyone would change their avatars to for the occasion. But wouldn't it also change the rarity, the traits, because isn't the NFT just the sum of those traits, you know?
Yeah, that's the thing, right? The BFEs, at the end of the day, they are like collection of cards that you buy or stickers if you want to think about it. Like you cannot change those because they are like just a picture. We are giving more depth to this, and some of the traits may need to change or may need to be swappable at some point. Like I'm thinking that this is a very good example of what could be a way of, you know, maybe people is in a funeral and everybody needs to wear stuff, you know, and the same, you know, you're not going to be wearing a funny avatar probably to that event. So
Yeah.
probably something formal is needed. So
Yeah,
I
I
think
think
some of the traits like those will be able to, you know, this will be able to swap them at some point.
Yeah, I think just quickly on the, the collaborative piece as well. It's like, is this, say we take the VRM standard and we know what the skeleton looks like. We know how things like a hat could fit on a VRM model in terms of some form of position. Like if you have a head that's bigger than standard and you have an NFT for a hat and it's kind of intersecting the mesh, how is that going to work? Or if you take the other side of things and you're collaborating with individual projects and say, I've got the CloneX and then I've got my Metashima, and the Metashima is a different VRM with a clone appended to it. How do you handle that once you scale those collaborations out to tens or hundreds of different projects? Because they're all going to contain these unique traits that you're going to have to merge together in 3D. But I think at this point in time, 2D is definitely relatively easy to do. But I'm really kind of curious how the community as a whole solves for different accessories or things like that in the 3D space.
I think if you enable crowdsourcing, then this does help scale. If you depend on the independent teams to do so, then there's a bottleneck.
The problem can be though is that if there's no kind of like beacon of this is what like the definition of a wearable is, then there's all these independent teams who are defining those standards, and it's gonna be, you could make them work together, sure, but if you have 12 different standards, you're gonna need 12 different like transmuxing pipelines, right? Like you're gonna have so much more complications there. Whereas if you have like VRM, which is kind of like a beacon of like, here's just this standard that's been made, and if you want to adhere to it, you can, but there's all the benefits of adhering to it, like interoperability and being able to drag and drop your avatar. We need that for wearables too, right? Like we need, here's the definition of like what a hat is, here's like how you interop with that, and like how it works on a model and scales and does all these things. And I mean, Decentraland is doing a good attempt at that, I think, so far, of how do you get these kind of individual pieces to sync up. And I'm not saying it's the end all be all, but having that kind of like working pipeline that people can look to is like, oh, this is a way to do it. And if we kind of like interop with that, we get the interop by default with all these other platforms. And that's even, Decentraland itself builds on top of these other platforms. Like the avatar I'm using, it was so easy to convert because it runs on the default Unity humanoid model. It's like the same skeleton structure. They haven't deviated too far from like what is known as like the standards and the kind of like defaults as we have today. So I think we need more of that, right? Like let's define more standards on top of what we already have, and how to figure out that with things like VRM. And that kind of gives people a beacon to work around and towards, which stops us from going in these different directions with everything.
Dude, yes, I can speak on this as one of these independent teams with a wearable project that is running into bottleneck after bottleneck after bottleneck, attempting to get it into different places, including Decentraland. Man, there's really no great answers out there. I put out a 2,000 piece generative, basically giant chains you can wear around your avatar's neck. Gave people all the files that they need to bring them anywhere they want, but also running into similar complications as other people have mentioned in terms of just user awareness and knowledge base of how to convert these files and bring them in from world to world to world. So as someone with a giant wearable project that was very well received by the community and impossible to get in all these different places, just because even if you convert it to a VRM, convert it to a GLB, convert it to a .vox, convert it to whatever you want, like none of these worlds are really equipped or prepared to handle a ton of wearables coming in from the outside. And so honestly, the coalition that I was part of hosting that event earlier today, of all these avatar projects coming together who are like on the same page of sort of working on top of the same specs, and these platforms sort of getting on board on, in terms of adopting similar standards that users can build on, gives me, as someone who's like way too early out the gate with his project for wearables, some hope that eventually we get to this sort of situation with wearables as well, where we're all sitting down together trying to figure out like the best path forward. How do we get these things everywhere? And to touch on the NFT part, I feel like people just want to own their stuff. Like even with CCO stuff, I do a lot of events where everyone turns into the same avatar, but people still want to be the one who owns that one, or who can flex and say that they've got that one. So I'm in the thick of it, and in sort of like a weird spin-off direction of what a lot of you are working on. But I appreciate this conversation, and it gives me a lot of hope.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think. Oops, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think, we definitely don't have that yet, right? And it's a shame, because I feel like the technology's there. I feel like if you can sit down, like I was a complete beginner at 3D development before I tried to make this avatar, and I sat down. It took me a while to learn, but if you can sit down and do this manually now, there should be a way to automate it and kind of build out these pipelines. But unfortunately, just no one's kind of connected all those pieces yet, right? But the individual technology is there, I think. With the VRM kind of definition and having so much interop there, we just need to figure out the pipeline, whichever one is going to end up as the one of how to get, through all those standards, and then just like get to the end and export a VRM, and then you pretty much have what you need, right? But just who's going to connect all those pieces, and who kind of like makes them work and hosts it, I guess that's a whole nother story, right? That's the hard part.
I know that if Moon is still in the audience, Moon's been working on Character Creator, which is a open source avatar creator that can basically support UGC based meshes and wearables, and output a VRM that can be a single draw call for maximum performance, which also means maximum portability.
Wow, very cool.
Awesome. Yeah, because we shouldn't undersell it. Like making these avatars work, like the optimization required for VR is quite difficult, right? As a layman, you have to learn a lot of things that I didn't even know existed. Like texture atlasing, and connecting all these pieces and removing all the extra vertexes and animations and visamies. It's a lot to learn just to kind of like get your app, the things you own exported as a usable format. But yeah, I'm very bullish on the future of interop for sure.
Indeed, yeah. I was optimizing someone's avatar today, and the process with all the hype and focus on metaverse, I just hope that it can funnel into better workflows and tools for the artists working on these things. But also that's why artists get paid. So I don't think
Very true.
everything is going to be automated away. I think it's going to be a bit of avatar tailoring services. And that's kind of what SithLord has been doing as well. He's been tailoring wearables onto various avatars. You can see like even that Yeti in the background. Our resident Yeti has a bunch of chainmail on it. That was the work of SithLord. Okay, so to kind of wrap up this conversation, this is the first one that we've done in terms of a panel, and we've got a whole bunch more panels I will show on the screen. Oh wait, this is the wrong screen. But do y'all see this? So this is kind of what I envisioned for if we were to connect the metaverse together. I think it needs some economic incentives, which is why I really like the ancient Silk Road analogy. And what's the most portable thing, to traverse through the metaverse? It's avatars and the things on the avatars, wearables. And so I think that's the spear tip of, like metaverse interoperability. And so I'm glad that I was able to get so many different avatar collections in this studio and to have this conversation with everyone. And we'll be doing more of these in the future. This was the first one. We had a bit of setting up to do at the beginning, but now we've gotten better. And we want to discuss various topics like this. So if folks are interested, check out M3.org. This is M3 TV Studios. We have more studios coming if you want to sponsor it, like having a coffee mug or a poster on the wall. We'll have more on that later. And everyone that's been here, I'm just looking around, is going to get a POAP. So I need to have a guest list. We'll arrange for that later. Just hit me up on Discord and I will give me some math addies. We will send out some POAPs later. And with that, any kind of closing thoughts? Let's go around. Let's do a really quick closing thought for starting with Seven or Roy.
In the future, gamers, every gamer will want to boost their personal brand by using their clothes on every piece of content they bring. And this is possible thanks to non-fungible token and digital fashion.
True. All right, Morph.
I don't know how to say. I got into this whole mess because I thought RuneScape party hats are awesome. If you like RuneScape party hats, I feel like you'll appreciate NFT wearables. I feel like they're the same kind of thesis behind them. So yeah, look into it.
Awesome. I had a party hat. Toxsam.
I just want to say that I hope this year is going to be more traction for 3D avatar space in general. And I get a feeling that this is going to be like the year everybody's going to pay attention. So I think we are all in the right space, in the right time, right? So it's exciting.
Yeah, and I think like just gathering everyone here talking about these topics, having more and more of this is just going to be so beneficial in terms of making these standards and figuring out how to streamline everything. So let's just keep talking.
Awesome. Rizzle.
Yeah, appreciate being here. It's cool to be in this space with like-minded folks. I was just thinking about this earlier today. I feel like during the last real depths of the bear market, a similar vibe started to happen where there just weren't that many people on the bleeding edge left who were really working hard, and they all sort of started circling the wagons and working together and talking to each other and everything. And I feel like that's starting to happen again, and it's cool. It's an exciting time for people who are here regardless of price fluctuations and everything, and who truly believe that we're building the future. So appreciate being here and hope to be part of more of them.
Skull.
Hey, honestly, I really want to thank you for the invite, and I look up to the work of most of the people that are here in the room. I've been following your works for a while, and really my greetings and respect. I am working really, really hard together with TheDigitalAcid and my team. It is a challenging time, definitely. There is no income. I am not here for the ETH. I am extremely excited about new technical solutions. I have the luck of working with some developers that are really, really brilliant. And I'm learning every day, checking your content, Jin, also from the past, digging in the old tweets and stuff and the different channels. I am happy about this conversation, and I'm learning a lot more than I had in my five years at the university. It's really the right place to be, and I am hoping to be here maybe again, giving you some updates about our platform that is planning to put together different aesthetics, different also styles of collecting NFTs. We have the Little Agents, we have the Moon Boys, we have like you guys researching new solutions and just being there for the mashup of different worlds. So see you next time. Thank you a lot.
Looking forward to seeing those updates. Moon, is that you in the center that's been chilling there? Or if you want to give any thoughts about the panel, or Sith, if y'all want to share, or if not, it's cool.
I mean, I love hearing from all you guys. I'm really glad we're doing this again. I think this was a blast from the past. There should be more of this.
Oh yeah, I can. The Yeti over there looks pretty excited. I'll take that as a a Yeti enthusiasm. DigitalAcid, any closing thoughts?
Yeah, sure. So, well, of course, I want to thank you guys. And I think that it's, again, like an encouraging sign to have people who are genuinely dedicated to solving the problems that are at hand. And like a lot of things, I'd say a few years ago, people would, look at the different engines and different standards and be like, this is, an impossible vision for the Web3 space. And yet, you have people here who are, not really motivated financially as much and more so about, innovating and bringing people together is really like an exciting, I guess, visualization here. Everyone here is concerned with solving things in a different way. And I think, what we witnessed today was that not only was it really cool to see all these projects coming together for a common, common goal, but also, the people who got to experience it using their avatars and easily and getting together. And we've seen it, the chatter all over Twitter and people posting photos and images and visuals, sharing these like, visual Kodak moments or, in the metaverse is really what we wanted to see. And so this power in numbers is really, I guess, just proven today. And so when I look at this panel of people here who are genuinely caring about the outcome and solving the most difficult problems, I think if we put all these great minds together and anyone else who wants to contribute, then there's really not anything that could stop us from solving those things. Everybody adds a piece to the, to the solve, and together we're pushing the space forward. And these are the, unironic builders of the space that I think in a few years people will appreciate being able to get past all of these technical hurdles without even knowing who to thank. But because of a show like this, we get to document the early beginnings of these metaverse cultures and tribes that are forming. So I'm very thankful for being here, and a part, everyone here is like a legend. And so, yeah, this is super cool to see all the avatars in one place talking about really important philosophical and technical challenges. And so I think together we can solve them.
Awesome. Did I see Null in here? I mean, he's been kind of maybe hiding over there. Null, we got to do something at your studio. I know that you've got a late night talk show type of place. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, sorry I couldn't make it fully. I did chime in. Been having some internet issues today, but we're vibing.
Yeah, all good. Okay, cool. Sound guy, you want to close us out?
Let's go.